Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now the earth was unformed and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. And God said, Let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, one day. And God said, Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters from which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, a second day. And God said, Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, Let the earth put forth grass, herb yielding seed, and fruit tree bearing fruit after its kind, wherein is the seed thereof, upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, herb yielding seed after its kind, tree bearing fruit, wherein is the seed thereof after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a third day. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for the lights of the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fourth day. And God said, Let the waters swarm with the swarms of living creatures, and let fowl fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And God created the sea monsters, and every living creature that creeps wherewith the waters swarmed, after its kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fifth day. And God said, Let the earth bring forth the living creature after its kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after its kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after its kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the ground after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. And have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that creeps upon the earth. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is a living soul, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. We're going to begin Genesis. Genesis is the first book of the Bible, or the first book of the Old Testament. It is also the first book of the books that are known as the books of Moses, the 5 books of Moses, or commonly referred to as the Torah, or the instructions. Genesis simply means beginning. The word in Hebrew is Bereshit, and it simply means the beginning. Bereshit, well, of course, is the beginning, but Rashit is beginning, or at first, the top or the head, when it's right. We could say that when it was perfect, because that's the way it was in the beginning when the Lord did create. We're going to get into this, and as we go through, and we're going to try to explain a few of these things as we go. But we're going to pick it up here in verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. And it's pretty simple. This is kind of like a little title to the starting of the book. That's why it's called Genesis, because of beginning, or Bereshit, the beginnings, or the firsts. These really are going to be the firsts of everything. We're going to have the explainings of what the firsts were. And, of course, it's going to be the beginnings of these writings that we're going to have. It's the first of those as well. But in the beginning, God created. This word God here has been misconstrued throughout time, throughout history, throughout mankind's existence upon the earth. What we have is a word, and the word here is Elohim. That word is a plural. That word is a plural of the word Eloh. And that is going to be the might of the powers, or the strength of the strengths of all the powers that were, or that are. These powers exist. They are, as we're going to find out, there is a positive, there is a negative, and it depends on which side you're on is what your perspective's going to be. But in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the heaven is that which is above. The word heaven here means that which is above. And the earth. And that's what we commonly refer to as this planet here. But it was all things that were solid. It was all things that were manifest. And suddenly there was a creation. There was creation. As God did create, or He formed, there was nothing before the powers and the strength of all this powers coalesced into forming that which we know. 2. Now the earth was unformed and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. Now we're going to pick up in verse 2 with really the beginnings of the writings. This we can look at as not part of the title. We begin it with now. And now we're going to begin the story. And the earth was unformed and void. It was empty, and there was nothing there. It had newly be created. It's a blank slate. It's an open canvas, and the Lord, and we're going to find out the powers will begin to create upon it everything that can be. There was darkness upon the face of the deep, and there was emptiness. There was emptiness, and there's this darkness. There was no form. There was no vision. There was no sight of anything. And the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. And this word, God, is going to be used many times throughout this. We're going to be the powers, the might of all the powers, the powers, the strength of all those things. And this is the Spirit, that which is has all this ability. The Spirit here is Ruach. And the word ruach means wind, breath, mind, spirit, but it's going to relate more to a smell. And as kind of like we just come out of the book of Song of Songs, that smell is a exhale of something. In other words, in order to have a beginning, we have to have an end, because things continue. And that's what this is this first of this continuance. And the powers hovered over the face of the waters, or the emptiness here. 3, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God said, let there be light. And where there was darkness, now there was light. We'll find out in the beginning that He was the light. And there was light. And God spoke. 4, and God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. So suddenly before there was just darkness, and that's why the day always begins in the evening, because in the beginning there was darkness, and it was the power, the law, God, who saw the light, that it was good, and He divided the light from the darkness. And we're going to see the light here is not what we commonly refer to, but this light is a separation between dark and light. It's all it simply is, a division of the two. But in order to have darkness, we're going to have light, because without light there is no darkness. 5, and God called the light day, and the darkness He called night, and there was evening, and there was morning, one day. And we had to have a division in order to have a separation that we could see there was an end, there was a beginning, there's night, there's day. Now there's understanding. And the darkness, He called it night. It was simply, the word is lail, and it means to be night. And there's a whole lot of people who teach a lot of things from this. But what it is it's absent of its understanding. It's absence of the light. The light is that which has a perception to it. It has some substance to it, whereas the darkness represents that which is unknown. And sometimes it has a greater representation of a negative. And we'll see here that this is the creation of what is known as one day. We have the first day, and in the first day there was a separation between light and darkness. 6, and God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And we have begun the second day. Of course, it's going to be there's darkness, and God's going to make another division. He's going to make a division in the midst of the waters. And these waters here, the word is Mayim. It's a plural of Maya. And the waters is going to have a this washing effect, the covering of waters. In other words, there was just waters, and it was divided. We'll find out once again. There's a division and a separation made, and the waters from the waters. And these are going to be just like the light and the darkness were separated. Now the water is separated too, and we're going to have a separation of that which is above and that which is beneath. 7, and God made it the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. So now we have the waters that are below the firmament, and this firmament is what we refer to as an atmosphere. We call this an atmosphere. It's layers, actually, of this division that come down to and have us in a bubble, so to speak. And this is how the waters, we're going to find out, that are beneath this firmament will be coalesced as well. from these waters that were above the firmament. And in other words, there's a separation of those things which are above, and there's a separation of those things which are beneath. 8. And the firmament is going to be that example of it. 8. And God called the firmament heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, a second day. And this is the end of the second day. Second, and we can witness these separations that the Lord has made. There has been 2 of them. He has separated darkness and light. He has separated heaven and earth. And he called that firmament heaven. And that's that separation, or that great expanse. He called that up, and there was an evening. And he called that the other portion that which is beneath. And there was an evening, there was a morning. And because we have that which come from the first separation, the light and the darkness, and that separates these periods of time. 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God said, let the waters, and the waters are that which was covering, the covering, and they gathered together under the heaven. That's the waters that was below the firmament. They coalesce, and the dry land appears. So now we have what everybody knows as earth, or that good old land. And it was so. And we're going to see from this, everything is created. Now the canvas is made, and it's just like everything is being prepared for that which is going to come next. And this is how the powers, the forces that is referred to here as God, works. 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of it, the waters, called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And he called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he the seas. And that's still what we refer to them today. And God saw that it was good. And so far there was nothing wrong. Everything was perfect. 11. And God said, let the earth put forth grass, herb yielding seed, fruit tree, bearing fruit after its kind, wherein is the seed thereof upon the earth. And it was so. And God said, and once again, Elohim, the might of the powers, the strength of the powers, the ability of the powers, said, let the earth put forth grass. And that's exactly what happened. And the earth was covered with grass, these herb-yielding seeds, these fruit trees bearing fruit after its kind. What we call the examples, this we can witness all this. It is existing. That means it had to come from somewhere. Trees just don't appear, not of a variety. The diversity, as we'll find out, of a tree that could be, was in the beginning, and now we have what's left. As we have been in this slow course from the beginning to where there'll be an end and a beginning. It is inevitable. 13. And there was evening, and there was morning, a third day. A third day, 3, and that's always the day I say we'll complete the witness, because we have, just like I said, all these things, they exist. And there's the evening, and there's a morning. The evening is going to have a representation. It was in the beginning, see, and the morning is going to have that representation of there's an understanding too of it all. 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let there be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. And once again, a division. And here we're going to have a little more division. It wasn't enough that the light and the darkness already was made to divide. There was a period of light. There was a period of darkness. Nobody ever witnessed. There's nothing ever created but the trees and the grasses. They had to see it. And this time, God created these lights that are in the firmament, or in that expanse that is above, that part that's known as heaven, as it was explained before. It's called that for your reference. And it was to divide the day from the night, or for an example is what it was for, because there was a preparation already made. The Lord had made a preparation before you ever got here. And it's for an example, as we're going to see, to divide the day from the night. Once again, we've got to have this division of light from darkness, and it's so that everything can see. And let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them, as we're going to find out, there are several lights made. Let them be for signs. That's for an example, is what that means. It's for signs. Let them be for examples. There's more than one. So we had to have, if we just had the sun, let it be for an example. But there are more than one. So we said, let them be for signs. They are for examples. And these examples are that there's continuance. There's going to be a continuance, as we're going to see, just like the seasons, these things which go around or continue or record. It's for days. That's the divisions of the nights and the darkness. And it's for years. Years is to keep the record, to record the number of beginnings. This was just one here. 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And let them be for lights in the firmament. Let them be for lights, observation, we can say. Light, that which gives light, that which gives us sight, that which gives us observation. Let it be in the firmament, that expanse of that part outside, not beneath here. That's called heaven in the reference, to give light upon the earth. And it's to give light upon the earth. So here we have the establishment of the greater light and the lesser light, as we'll see. 16. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night and the stars. And God made two great lights, and two always is the reference of, we can witness now these great lights. Some call them the sun and the moon. We know the moon gives no light on its own. It is that which is reflected of the sun, and God done knew that in the beginning. But we have these two greater lights to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, because the Lord knew in the beginning that it was not good that there would be utter darkness. And the stars, and because the moon has a cycle, we also have the stars to keep a smaller, lesser light going, even in those periods where the moon doesn't shine. 17. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And God set them in the firmament of heaven, and it was to give light upon the earth. And this is the placement of them. They shine, and we'll find out. For an example, so that we can see, there's always a beginning. There's going to be a new beginning. There are many beginnings. They are over and over and over. And the Lord established, or the powers, the might or the strength of all these powers has established it already. 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And it was to rule over the day. And to rule over means to have a dominion over the day and over the night, or to be a great example. And it was also to divide the light from the darkness, or to show that there was a division, because the Lord does love to divide. As we'll see, he makes many divisions as we go through. But these were of the first couple great divisions that the Lord made. And this period of dividing, this period of separating, is what I like to refer to as one of the greater works of God, of the powers. We're going to refer to him of the strengths, of the mights of the Lord. And there was evening and there was morning. It was the fourth day. And the fourth to me represents just that. It is the work of the Lord, day with understanding. And he loves to separate the light and the darkness. And he's made a great example of there's a light and then there's a darkness. These are the positives. These are the negatives. There's opposites. They're good. It's good, because without the light, the darkness is not made known. There is no understanding of it. Now we're going to pick up after this fourth day, and we're going to see that the Lord begins to create life. 20. And God said, "Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let fowl fly above the earth in open firmament of heaven." And God said, "Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures." And there was life, and the waters came to life. And the waters teemed with life, that which lived within the water. And let the fowl fly above the earth in open firmament of heaven. Now we have a separation of this firmament of heaven here. This is that in the open firmament, or that which reaches to the firmament of heaven. And that's just that which is above the earth. It doesn't mean that outer portion so much. And the waters came to life. And I refer to the waters a lot of time as the understandings. And that's because that's what it's slowly bringing it to life, is this understanding. 21. And God created this great sea monsters and every living creature that creeps wherewith the waters swarmed after its kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And God saw that it was good. These great sea monsters. There are no sea monsters. There are those things the Lord made, and there are some of them that would probably scare you to death. You would call them a monster, but they're not. God never created no monsters. Everything that there ever could possibly live, though, had life in it. And the waters swarmed with life. The heavens, the skies had winged fowl. And it was good. It was good that there was life, because life, once again, is a separation here. If we have a positive, we have to have a negative. And we'll see these little circles are going to get smaller and smaller. 22. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful, multiply." And there was an ability to reproduce. There was this ability to replenish the earth and keep it alive. First, the preparation had to be made so life could exist. And then, because life could, life did. 23, and there was evening, and there was morning, a fifth day. 5, we'll see as the Lord began to create or make manifest that which was alive, or that which could live, is the fifth day. The fifth day is grace, because that's, we'll find, was the intent from the beginning, was a beginning and a place for life to exist. If we don't have the existence of life, we don't know what the absence of it is. 24, and God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature, after its kind, cattle, creeping thing, beast of the earth after its kind, and it was so. So now God's going to create everything that's on the earth, everything that's that lives on the earth, besides the birds and the fowls that supposedly they live in the sky and the air. They also live in the earth among the trees and branches thereof. But these are those that live on the earth: cattle, creeping thing, that's bugs and insects and all other manners that life requires or require life. Either way you want to look at it, it's the same thing. 25, and God made the beast of the earth after its kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps on the ground after its kind. And God saw that it was good. So God made everything that could live, or everything that required life, or everything that life required. And it was good. It was good. It was necessary for it to continue. 26, and God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." Now we're going to come to the creation of man. And he was created at the same time that the Lord made all the other things that live on the earth. He had made man. Man, we'll see. We get a whole lot of understanding. People take off in every angle from here with their understandings. But man is simply what we are. He made man. He made mankind. Everybody looks the same. As we see here in this word, as God said, "Let us make man in our image." The word Elohim is a plural anyway. And the might or the powers or the strengths conveyed under the powers, let us make man in our image. Let there be this creation known as man, or let this that is established be known as man. It's in our image, or the shadow of. Let us make a creator after our likeness, this one who could be like unto us, have these powers or have these abilities, even to create. And let him have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over. He's in charge. He's over all the earth, over every creeping thing creeps on the earth. He's in charge of these powers. We'll find out these ones that are made manifest even in him. These abilities to separate, these abilities to create, all the same abilities. 27, and God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. So God created man. And he made him in his own image. He made him after his own shadow, after his own likeness. The shadow, or that which is cast forth, kind of like, he needed somebody to look over. We could say it was necessary. It was necessary to have a husband, a overseer, a one who could care for. And he made man, he made woman at the same time, male and female. God created he them. 28, and God blessed them. And God said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that creeps upon the earth." And the Lord blessed man. He blessed him, just like he had blessed everything else. And God said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. Cause it to continue. Keep it under control, and don't let it get out of hand." You could see that's this word subdue. And be fruitful and multiply. Whatever's necessary to keep it under control. And have dominion over the fish of the sea. You have rule over the fowl of the air, over every living thing that creeps on the earth. The powers give us this duty And we'll find out this was the first thing the Lord asked you to do. 29, and God said, Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed, which is upon the face of the earth, every tree, in which the fruit of the tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for food. God said, Behold, look, see, all the herbs, all the trees have fruit, all that which has seed, anything you can eat, it's for you for food. This is what you eat. And this is the way it was. And it was for every beast, 30, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is a living soul, I have given every green herb for food. It was so. And every beast of the earth, everything that has a soul, ate green herbs for food, and this. And this is the way it was in the beginning, when God created it, or when the powers would be made it manifest. 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. And God saw everything that he made. It was good. He's seen it. Behold, it was very good. It was good. There was life. There was existence. It was beautiful. There was an evening. There was a morning. There was that to show a beginning, to show it would come from an end. There was an example. The seasons were established. Life swarmed in the waters. The waters had been separated. That which shows that there's an ability to separate. God had made known his whole self, and made substance for all things that live. Everything was made. It was a done deal. God, that which is taught loosely for gain here, is Elohim. We don't need nobody to tell us who God is, or to show us a picture, which you can't show who God is with a picture. There was no image of God other than the shadow that was left as he passed over the waters, and that shadow would look like a man, but we know man is not God, but a mere shadow or an image that was left behind, once again, to show that he was here. And there is evening, there is morning, there's darkness, and there's light. And the sixth day is that work. We're going to find out. That kind of belongs to man. I refer to it as that sixth. It's the day when God created man, and he left man to do his work because the Lord was done. And we're going to move forward to Genesis 2. Turn and return.